Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Today we're looking at a Epiphone by Gibson. It's a s310 Strat style guitar from the late 80s, early 90s probably. These came out a lot in the time Eddie Van Halen was really popular, when he was, with Kramer, and had, his Fender, Strat, all that. A lot of, people starting playing in that time period, was all about Strats. A lot of different players at that time playing Stratocasters. I reckon Gibson thought they had to get on the bandwagon, so this was what their answer to that. And pretty much the body is pretty much just, like any other Strat. Got your one volume, two tones, 5-way selector switch, 3 single coils. Has a 2-point trim, which is kind of unusual, I thought, for one of these. The back of it, typical, really close to the same thing as a Fender. A little bit of difference here with the cover, but the screw offset's the same. There's the back plate right there. Handcrafted in Korea, and Epiphone Company, Nashville, Tennessee, USA. So this one's actually got a pretty decent looking neck. It's an interesting profile. It's a really nice profile. One thing too that's a lot different from a regular Strat is you have a Gibson style nut and a truss rod cover there, but you also have a angle. I'm not sure what the angle is on your headstock. Basic tuners, we're missing a cover on the second string. On the A string, we're missing a cover on that one. So maple fretboard. Sure, it's probably just ceramic pickups, I'm sure. So we'll tire into it and see. What we're going to do is do a setup on it, which it really needs really bad. You can look at these saddles and see how tall the adjusters are. The saddles are pretty much down to nothing. The pickups are pretty much flat on the deck, and there's lots of buzz, a lot of buzz going on. So gonna have to do a setup on it. Probably gonna put a shim in it, just judging from, if action was that low and it didn't buzz, it'd be great. But so anyway, and we're gonna probably change these pickups out to a set of Earl Slick 65s. So probably going to change these pickups out, possibly change the pick guard. We got to see if a Strat style pick guard is going to fit on this. Looks like this pick guard doesn't go as high up on the horn as the Strat, but we'll see what we can when we get into it. All right, got the strings off. Let's check the truss rod. See what it says. There's a screw already part of the way out. That's not a good sign. Three screws, typical Gibson truss rod cover. Right there. So, and I don't know what this is going to be. Let's see. There we go. Oh yeah, it works. Definitely works. works. That's great. That's a great thing. Let's see. Get set up here. And I don't know if it's a one-way or a two-way. It's loose right now. It's not doing anything. And it don't look like it's going to do anything but unscrew completely. Yeah, so it appears to be a one-way rod. So we'll get it flat, straight, however you want to say it. Flat, straight, whatever. Use just a little bit more. Give that something to start with anyway. Alright, a little bit wavy, but okay. And yeah, it's way too let me move this a little bit down farther. It's way too the neck's gonna have to be tilted back. We're gonna have to put a shim in it. These adjusters are way, you know, they're really high, and that's hard to see. That's really hard to see. They're really high. They're almost bottomed out. Some of them are. The high E string is it's run all the way down flat against the bridge, and also these screws are chewed up really bad, like a Phillips head screw. And I may have some other adjusters that use an Allen, and I'll have to see if I can find those. We could pop this cover off the back and just see what we got right there real quick. Let's see what we got here. Which I leave these covers off myself. I never use them, but that's it. Okay, we got 3 springs, and the screws are run way out here, way out. This typical zinc small block. Yeah, see there. You shouldn't be able to do that. You shouldn't be. The springs weren't doing anything. And man, if they don't look like and feel like these original ones, I don't know that the cover's ever been off the back of this thing the way it looks. But that's where it was at. Okay, our bridge ought to come right off, and it does. Okay. Let's see if I can get everybody down here a little closer. Something to look at with these guitars, like the Fenders that have the 2-point trim, anything with a 2-point, is to make sure that these inserts are not moving up and down. this one, and you're not going to be able to see that, maybe. It's higher. Yeah, you can see right there. This one's sticking up. So we're going to see if it'll go back down, if it's moving or whatever. But that's something to look at. Okay. And then I'm going to, while we're taking apart, I'm going to go ahead and take this pick guard cover off. Okay. Got the screws out except for one. I always forget one. It's usually the one here, and this one doesn't have one there. Like a Fender, it has one over here instead of right there. So my Fender pickguard may not fit this thing without some changes. And they didn't give no slack on the ground wire, that's for sure. That's all right. We know how to fix that. All right, didn't give you much slack on the wire to the output jack either, man. They wasn't wasting no money on wire, that's for sure. Okay, here's our insides. Okay, there's your pickups, kind of odd base plate, metal base plate. And then the switch actually looks like the Korean Squire switch, the same switch as a Korean Squire. In fact, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if this guitar isn't built in the same plant as the Korean Squires were made in that era, the late 80s, early 90s, whatever. Wouldn't be a bit surprised. So you have the small little 500K pots, and the switch. You know, these switches are decent. This one is, and I'm trying to reach under there to switch it. But it was a little scratchy, but it probably just needs cleaning. So, and you can see the route is routed. You can put humbucker, single humbucker, or however. It's, you know, however. And then, like I say, here was this piece sticking up, and I wanted to see if I could get it back down. This insert. It seems pretty tight. I don't know how it got up so over time. I'm going to look and see somewhere in my mountain of junk. I've got some other adjusters. I don't know if they're the same size. Man, those things are long as these, but this one's not as bad chewed up, and I don't think you're gonna be able to see nothing. They're not as bad chewed. The other one's chewed up a lot worse. Just a Phillips head. That's kind of a halfway deal. So anyway, I'm gonna take the neck off, do the frets. We need to check I want to check these pickups. I want to check and see what the output is on these pickups before I take all this apart. All right, I think you can see that. The neck pickup is showing a 6.92. The middle is showing 6.92 to 1. Okay, then the bridge and the switch is kind of wonky. That's what's causing it to. The bridge is actually a 6.85. So that's kind of odd. Okay, what we're looking at putting in here is the Earl Slick 65s, the set, and we're looking at an 8.6K a 7.6 and a 6.7. So, you know, that's going to be a lot better. These are really nice pickups. I put a set of these in for a customer. It was the HHS or the HSS or whatever, humbucker and 2 singles set in his guitar, the 65 Slicks. Man, they was nice. So I'm thinking these will sound good in this. So I'm gonna get this out of the way and see about the pick guard, whether I'll be able to modify a Strat pick guard for it. All right, I grabbed a Strat pick guard for a Fender, just to see what the difference was. There's a lot of difference. If you line it up, this part is actually fairly close. This goes a little bit farther up the horn. But if you put the first pickup in, and all this, like I say, the neck pocket, that's all fairly close. Where it gets different is your second pickup is only about halfway into your opening for your pickup. Your bridge pickup isn't even in the slot. It ain't even in the hole. It's so much shorter. These pickups are a lot closer together, considerably closer together than a Strat. I mean, it's, you know, this bottom part that your looks like your switch, your knobs and all that are fairly similar, but just the pickup and the bridge, if you put this one on here, see, it's not even, if you put it in position here, one thing, your pickup's almost touching right in here, but your bridge isn't even, you know, it's way, this is a lot shorter distance. So that makes me wonder about the whole scale lengths and everything. And that's something I didn't check, was the scale length, to see if it's a Gibson scale or a Fender scale. So, because this is a lot shorter. Let's see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a 22 fret neck, but it don't have the overhang like a 22 fret Fender. So I'm about to do a little measuring on that. So that's a little interesting. So if you buy one of these Epiphones, don't buy a Strat pickguard, because it will not fit without major modification. All right, folks, that's a little look into this Epiphone s310. A little bit odd. A lot of these Strat copies, you think they're the same when you know, looking at them, but there's a lot of difference. A lot of difference in that length in the body. It is a 25.5 inch scale. I did check that, so it's 25.5 inch scale. But I'm gonna have to do a lot of cleaning up and you know, clean the frets up. The frets don't have any wear. This guitar, I don't think's been played a lot. I don't think it's really ever been took apart and cleaned much or anything. It looks pretty good. So got a lot of that to do and make some decisions on pickups and electronics and whatever. So you know, we'll do another video on whatever we decide to do about putting it back together, what pickups, what we're going to change or whatever. But anyway, that's a little look into that. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments. If you've got any information on these guitars, if you have one or had one, you know, what's your 2 cents worth on that? So we'll do another follow-up video of this one, putting it back together. So until the next time, appreciate it and see you later.